Hi guys, it's Martin Sage of Darkness here, bringing you a very exciting deck profile. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be clicking onto this and hopefully liking and subscribing to my channel as a result. It's an updated Rainbow Neos deck. I got the inspiration to remake this deck as a result of Miracle Contact coming out. I know what you guys are saying, you can't use Miracle Contact to make Rainbow Neos. That's fine, I already know that. But I got some other tactics for Miracle Contact in this deck. I should say at the moment Oversoul is in here instead of Miracle Contact, but it will be replaced. So here it is, my updated Rainbow Neos Turbo deck, back after about a year. We've got 3 Elemental Hero Neos, 2 Neos Alias, lovely beat stick. Can also become Neos. It's quite nice actually. Have him on the field, he's quite easy to keep for a turn, then pump him up as Neos and fuse with him. 2 Prisma. Again, they make Neos, and I know again that you can't play Rainbow Dragon with him, so there's no point in saying it. I'm a veteran player for Rainbow Neos. I know about all the downsides, unfortunately. 2 Woodsman. You see where I got Woodsman later, obviously to search polymerization, but he combos well with a nice card later on. He's got 2000 defense. Yeah, very nice card. Just speeds the deck up really and keeps recycling Woodsman. Keeps recycling polymerization. 1 Stratos, standard. 3 Rainbow Dragon. 3 Rainbow Dragon, that's very good. And also 3 Rainbow Dark Dragon. Now, a lot of people don't run Rainbow Dragon and Rainbow Dark Dragon in the same deck, but this is a Rainbow Neos Turbo deck. The idea is, well, I'll show you the idea later on, but it will become clear how I use so many Rainbow. I mean, I have 6 Rainbow Dragon, but there's no searchability for Rainbow Dragon. So I need as many draws as I can, and I get over the problem of having multiple Rainbow Dragon in my hand, well, in a few ways, but I'll explain those in a bit. So, 3 King of the Swamp, all super rare, very cool, I like those, and a Grand Mole, that's the last card of my deck, or the last monster card. So there's my monster lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 monsters. So yeah, a good all-round monster count. So 3 Neos, 2 Neos Alias, 2 Prisma, 2 Woodsman, Stratos, 3 of each of the Rainbow Dragons, 3 King of the Swamp, and a Grand Mole for bouncing back Xyz and doing something else cool, which I'll show. This has a lot of combos, this deck. It's really, really top class. I hope it works as well as it has been doing on Dueling Network. Okay, so 3 Call, plenty of searchability. 3 Miracle Fusion. 2 Oversoul. For the moment, this will be Miracle Contact as soon as it's released in the next set. And I will be going to the sneak peek to get that ASAP. Now this is one of the ways that I make the Rainbow Dragons in my hand not dead. So I use polymerization, obviously searched out with Woodsman, fuse Neos Alias, fuse a Neos in my hand with a Rainbow Dragon in my hand to make Rainbow Neos. Fusion Recovery, get back Neos, polymerization, automatically the next Rainbow Dragon in my hand that I draw will be live. It's not a dead draw. I have had a few games where, admittedly, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I have a hand of Rainbow Dragons, not a hand of, but you know, sort of 2, sometimes even 3 in my hand. But obviously I can fuse Rainbow Dragon into the Shining, I can fuse Rainbow Dark into Escurado, so it's not the end of the world if it doesn't work out right. But generally it's a very, very good tactic for pushing for Rainbow Neos as many times as possible. It's a Rainbow Neos Turbo deck. It's about getting it out ASAP and keep recycling it as well. Not just a one trick pony, it's keep doing it. 2 polymerization, I only need 2. I've got 3 King of the Swamp, 2 Woodsman. I can keep recycling it with Fusion Recovery. Get it out as quickly as possible. That's another thing. I can use Fusion Recovery. I can use Woodsman to keep recycling this, and at the moment Oversoul to recycle Neos, but when Miracle Contact comes out that will do exactly the same thing because it will return Neos back to the deck and I can draw it again, making the Rainbow Dragons in my hand live again and again, so brilliant. I mean, if I go through all 3 of my Rainbow Neos and I haven't won the game, then something's seriously wrong. Monster Reborn. because I don't run aimlessly into traps. You can't. One reinforcement in the army. Again, to get out Stratos, to get out Neos Alias, to get out Prisma. Future Fusion, I know that this will be banned, probably in the next ban list, because of Chaos Dragons, because of the OCG combo for heroes with this, but that's okay. The deck doesn't need this, it's just a nice addition. Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, they're my magic lineup. So, as I say, will be Miracle Contact when it comes out. Might even do an updated profile. Very cool though. But for the moment, Oversoul's the best kind of way of recycling Neos. It's not bad actually. Oversoul brings back Neos, lets me tribute it for Rainbow Neos effect. Very small trap lineup. Solemn Judgment and 2 Safe Zone. Now, the glare's there, so I'll just bring that to here. Now, why do I run Safe Zone? Solemn Judgment's obvious. You know, I mean, it's the standard trap in the game that stops anything. You know, it's perfect. If they've got set a 1-turn sort of kill for killing off Rainbow Neos, you got Torrential Tribute set or a Solemn Warning. Flip this, you're safe. The Safe Zones do a similar thing in terms of Rainbow Neos. Obviously, it can protect him. I mean, even if you can't attack directly, that's massive amounts of damage if he attacks a monster, and I can keep using his effects, which I'll come to later on. But this thing just protects him from so many different things. It also protects this guy, Woodsman, so I can keep recycling polymerization. Also, another nice thing that you can do with Safe Zone is you can flip it, attach it to your opponent's monster, then send it for Rainbow Neos' effect. Because both effects are mandatory, that's the cost for his magic and trap sending, and you can kill off one of their monsters through Safe Zone's effect. So it's a very, very nice combo with that. So 2 Safe Zone works very well. It's protection for my monsters. This is more about, I don't need things like Mirror Force, because generally, I mean, if I want to kill off all their monsters or whatever, I can make an absolute 0. But generally, this deck is about getting out a big monster and protecting it for as long as possible. You'll see that in my side deck as well. So that's the main deck. Extra deck. This is where the deck comes alive. It's really, really good, this extra deck. Obviously, 1, 2, 3, The Shining. This deck just runs so many lights. It's not, you know, this is the main Miracle Fusion target. Because I know, again, as with Miracle Contact, you can't make Rainbow Neos with Miracle Fusion because he's not an elemental hero. So this is the main target for Miracle Fusion. Rainbow Neos, I need 3 of these. Now this guy's effect, I do believe this guy has one of the most amazing effects in the game. You can return a monster on your field, return all monsters back to the deck on your opponent's side of the field. You can return a magic and trap card, do the same to their magic and traps. Or you can mill a top card from your deck to return their graveyard. This card in its own is my side deck. Now that sounds a bit funny, but people say, oh, why don't you side against Insectors? Why don't you side against Chaos Dragons? Why don't you side against this and that, X-Sabers or 6 Samurais, or you know, whatever's good. This deck, this card, if I can protect it, counters any strategy, I believe. As many that I can think of, apart from perhaps Final Countdown. It's just about the only thing that I don't think, but I've got a counter to that anyway in my side deck. But of the top tier decks, I don't think there's many that can stop this thing once it's safe. Obviously, you know, you need to watch things like Hornet, you need to watch you know, things, you know, effects, you need to sort of equip it with Safe Zone and whatever, protect it. But if you can keep returning their graveyard, especially, so many decks rely on their graveyard. If you can mill the top card, return their graveyard, keep doing it again and again and again, this card is your side deck. And plus it's got 4,500 attack points. Whatever strategy any deck is trying to build up, if you can return it back to the top of the deck and shuffle their deck, increases their deck size, decreases their strategies, clears their field out, and allows you to push for game. This card is brilliant and well worth basing the deck around, in my opinion. So I run 3 of those. You need 3, and I need to be able to get it out as quickly as possible to control the field. 2 Divine Neos. This is one of the other cards. Obviously, I mill it with Future Fusion. It's one of the reasons I run Grand Mole. Also, it's one of the cards I can make with either Miracle Contact or Miracle Fusion. A nice thing that you can do with this, although Rainbow Neos is not an elemental hero monster, he is a Neos monster. So I can use this guy, remove a Rainbow Neos from my graveyard, and use its effect, obviously until the end of the turn. But Divine Neos becomes Rainbow Neos' effect until the end of the turn. So he pumps up to 3,000. You get his broken effects, and you can reuse them. So a nice combo you can do, which I've done before, is Divine Neos and Rainbow Neos on the field, and a Magic and Trap set. Tribute Rainbow Neos for its own effect, and return all their monsters. Then remove that Rainbow Neos from play for Divine Neos' effect. Then set a Magic and Trap, return it, send all their magics and traps, push for 3,000 damage. That's taken out all of their magic and traps and all of their monsters for the cost of one of your monsters, and obviously the cards to summon it. But a fairly easy way to do that is to obviously fuse with Rainbow Neos and wait a few turns for Future Fusion for this. This is where Future Fusion is particularly good in this deck. Divine Neos, milling Grand Mole, milling Neoses for Miracle Contact. And speaking of Miracle Contact targets, this is the main reason I have Miracle Contact. Neos Knight. This thing with Safe Zone is fantastic. Another really good Safe Zone target. It's just so good. It can attack twice. Yes, it doesn't deal battle damage. Yes, if it can't attack directly because it doesn't deal damage. But honestly, if they got two monsters on the field, particularly Chaos Dragons, they summon Light Pulsar and Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Summon this using two Neos, using a Neos and a Prisma. Summon Prisma, drop Neos, Miracle Contact, make this thing, recycle your Neos back, summon it with over 3,000 attack points, and attack twice. You can kill off their strategies very quickly, returning the balance of the field. That's what it's about. It's about keeping control of your opponent's monsters until you can summon this thing and push for extra damage. Another way of controlling the field, Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero can be made through King of the Swamp because it's a water monster. Another fantastic way to nuke the field, and the reason why I don't need things like Mirror Force and Torrential Tribute in my deck. One Great Tornado for Stratos, and one Gaia. Also very good. I run Woodsman and Stratos, so decent targets for Miracle Fusion. And the last card in my extra deck at the moment is Trinity. Now this card, I didn't really like at first. Another Future Fusion target. Also good if I've got a couple of Neos and a Prisma in my hand, something that maybe is a bit I wouldn't normally fuse into the Shining with that because obviously you can't remove it from play. But you can, you'd only be 2,500 with no, or 2,600 with no effect. This guy, you can fuse into him. He becomes a 5,000 beater. You can equip again because I run Safe Zone. It's so worth running this thing. Because you can attack 3 times into a monster equipped with Safe Zone. It's not destroyed by battle, but they get hit 3 times with a 5,000 attack point monster. It's well worth doing. The idea of this deck is basically to bring out as many beaters as possible, big monsters. That's what I like to do. The Shining, Rainbow Neos, Divine Neos, Neos Knight, Trinity, Absolute Zero, having their attack points with these guys. It's about keeping control of the field, and I like to play this way. I'm a duelist that is not about destroying things through card effects. I like battle. I like big monsters clashing together. This is my kind of deck. Trying to fuse and really bring things predictable. So this is my kind of deck. It's a really, really good idea for a deck, in my opinion. And it's working very well at the moment. This is definitely the best version of the deck that I've had. So that's the extra deck. You can tell I'm very excited about all this. The side deck. Now this also is literally about protecting Rainbow Neos and my other cards from whatever my opponent throws at me. Effect Veiler, obviously to stop my opponent's strategies. A Hand Trap, if they try and return, Bryonak comes to mind. Various other cards that will hurt my fusions, because obviously if they can't defeat them through battle, through battle, they tend to defeat them through card effects and through monster effects. So this shuts down monster effects. 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. I side these in against Final Countdown decks. Very good at for killing off their traps, a lot of chainable traps straight away. Forbidden Chalice, another way of killing off monster effects as well, same as Effect Veiler. Forbidden Lance, my opponent's running lots of magic and trap cards that would hit Rainbow Neos, things like Gladiator Beasts. I can use these cards to protect Rainbow Neos again, similar to Safe Zone. Again, I'll just add them in if I feel like I need them. 1 Parallel World Fusion, if people are running Macrocosmos, they see the Shining, they side in Macrocosmos. I can use these to return 2 cards back to my deck, run Neos Knight. Again, I can't make Rainbow Neos with it, but it does target any of the other Elemental Hero cards. Very good way of recycling cards back into my deck as well for deck destruction type decks. It sounds funny, but I got hit with a deck destruction deck. He milled through his deck, I milled through mine. He was sort of hitting me with various types of decks, various types of cards that milled for both of us, but he had more cards than I did. I Miracle Fuse into Divine Neos, and then next turn Parallel World into Divine Neos again, putting 5 cards back on the top of my deck. And that subsequently ended up winning me the duel. A nice negation card, a couple of Dark Bribe. I got them in there for now. I don't know whether I'll take them out or not. I haven't really play tested them too much, but they're just a good general card for sort of negating my opponent's strategies. And the last card I side in, again, I'd side those in probably for Final Countdown. And Royal Decree, it screws up a lot of Final Countdown strategies, because they run a lot of traps and they rely on a lot of chainable traps. So if I put that in, all I need is a couple of direct attacks with Rainbow Neos, and I can win it. So, presuming they don't have a Swift Attack Scarecrow or a Battle Fader in their hand, it's night-night for the Final Countdown Duelist. So, yeah, overall, very, very good. Another thing I can do against Final Countdown is if they haven't drawn it yet, I can keep returning their graveyard back to the top of their deck, decreasing the chance of drawing Final Countdown. So yeah, the whole side deck is literally about protecting Rainbow Neos as best as I can. Please, just because I think this deck is really good doesn't mean it doesn't need improvement, because all of my decks need your comments, need your likes, need your suggestions. So please do comment and subscribe to my channel. And I really hope you like the deck, guys, because I know Rainbow Neos has been one of your favourites. It's always had a lot of good feedback. So I hope you like it. I'll be adding Miracle content to this as soon as the next set comes out. So yeah, hope to get some duels filmed with this soon. Cheers, guys. Thanks.